everyone, it's Tom Roderick with RoadRUNNER Magazine. Today we are reviewing the 2022 Triumph Tiger GT Explorer.
Looking for more exciting motorcycle travel, editorial, reviews, news, and resources for planning your next motorcycle tour? RoadRUNNER.
Triumph's stable of Tiger 1200s includes 5 models: the GT, GT Pro, GT Explorer, Rally Pro, and Rally Explorer. The 3 GT models are the more pavement-focused, rolling on 19-inch front and 18-inch rear cast aluminum wheels wearing Metzeler Tourance tires. The 2 Rally models are more off-road worthy by way of their spoked, tubeless 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheel sizes outfitted with Metzeler Karoo tires. There's also 0.8 inches of extra front and rear suspension travel. Of the 3 GT Tigers, the Explorer is the premier model, commanding a base MSRP of $23,100 compared to $21,400 for the GT Pro and $19,100 for the GT. Our test bike in Sapphire Black, costing $200 extra, with the optional 11-gallon top box and 9.7-gallon panniers, including mounting brackets, upped the price tag by $2,037, bringing the total as-tested price to $25,337. That's not an inexpensive luggage ensemble, but this configuration is the choicest option from Triumph's accessory catalog. All 3 boxes share a key to lock or unlock the openings, as well as unlock the boxes from the mounting brackets. It's a nicely engineered setup that allows the bags to be easily attached or removed, and swift ingress to the boxes via a single hinged flip-up lid. Special to the GT Explorer is its 7.9-gallon fuel tank, 5.3 gallons on the GT and GT Pro, and blind spot radar system. Most of the time, I only fill the fuel tank to 2/3 capacity, saving me riding around with 15 pounds of unnecessary weight. The extra 2.6 gallons of fuel is certainly useful when exploring long distances. As for the blind spot radar system, meh. I'm a professed technology junkie, but I'm failing to find the benefit of blind spot radar on this Triumph, or any bike for that matter, largely because motorcycles don't have blind spots. The technology works, but for me, who generally rides faster than the flow of traffic, I'm constantly being reminded of the vehicle I just passed. And don't get me started on lane splitting, where the blind spot indicator lights remain solid as I filter between 2 lanes of stopped traffic. Thankfully, the system can be switched off. However, I'd rather not have to pay for something I don't use in the first place. Hello, GT Pro. All the other electronic goodies included in the base MSRP, with which the GT Explorer comes outfitted, keep the Tiger technologically competitive. These include cruise control, semi-active Showa suspension, an up-down quick shifter, hill hold, adaptive cornering lights, heated grips, heated rider and passenger seats, ABS, traction control, a 7-inch TFT display, and a tire pressure monitoring system. While each of these is a blessing to the daily commuter and weekend rider, it's the motorcyclist eyeballing the horizon who stands to benefit the most. About the only thing missing is adaptive cruise control. I wonder if it's possible to remove the radar from the rear of the bike, affix it to the front, and download adaptive cruise control. Triumph says the new 1200 Tiger is 55 pounds lighter than the outgoing model. While I've never thrown a leg over the last generation Tiger 1200 XR, I do know the 2012 Tiger Explorer, on which it was based, was a top-heavy beast. Taking the GT Explorer out for a romp through my local twisty proving grounds endeared me to the fact that the newest iteration is, in fact, a lighter and more efficient handling motorcycle. With a Honda CB500X nipping at my heels through the tight stuff at the end of the day, I could definitely feel the strain of having spent the day pitching the Tiger's weight from side to side. It's lighter, but an afternoon of wrestling 540 plus pounds from apex to apex takes its toll. Were I on the old model Tiger, though, I would have had to let the smaller, lighter, less powered Honda pass. The transitioning prowess of the new model doesn't only come from the reduction in weight. The semi-active Showa suspension did its job, reacting to my best antics of riding the big Tiger as if it were a sport bike. The GT Explorer has 4 ride modes: rain, road, sport, off-road, with preset configurations for throttle response, ABS, traction control, and suspension damping. You can tweak the settings of the preset ride modes, but there's also a fifth mode, Rider, for the owner to create a mode based solely on his or her preferences. I tended to prefer the stiffest of the suspension's 9 levels to keep the front from diving excessively. Preload is adjusted automatically based on the load detected by the system. Thank you, Showa. Throttle response in the sport setting is too light switchy, and while the road setting smooths off to on throttle abruptness, I still notice some driveline lash when riding at low revs in second gear at around town speeds. The new 3-cylinder engine with its 1-3-2 firing order is a smaller displacement engine to the outgoing Tiger, but a surprisingly more potent one, cranking out a claimed 9 more horsepower and 6 more pound-feet of torque on a bike with a 55-pound weight advantage is easily felt when the twist grip is fully rotated. Revs are complemented with an ear-pleasing resonance, and there's power to be found throughout the rev range. The downside to Triumph's T-plane crank configuration appears to be an increased amount of vibration. By 6,000 RPM, 3,000 RPM before reaching its claimed peak horsepower, the engine feels like it's working harder than it should. The parallel twin powering my buddy's Honda was a much smoother operator on a bike costing a third of the price. Comfort is a key asset of the GT Explorer. The seat is wide where it needs to be and narrow enough at the seat tank juncture to stand comfortably. Combined with the ample amount of legroom, a rider can move around and change positions during long stints in the saddle. Triumph did sacrifice some cornering clearance with foot pegs scraping earlier than what the bike's ground clearance seems to indicate. The seat's low setting of 33.5 inches wasn't a concern until I parked the GT Explorer on a downslope and then struggled to lift the bike off its side stand. Following the small embarrassment, I remained mindful of where and how I parked the bike. Riders taller than me will be happy knowing the GT Explorer's seat can easily be raised to 34.3 inches. Speaking of raises, the adjustable windscreen can be repositioned easily with just one hand while in motion. The change in airflow was significant enough that I often changed the windscreen's position depending on temperature, crosswind, or the helmet I was wearing. The 7-inch full-color TFT display is pleasingly styled, animated, and easily navigated. I was able to access the various menus and change settings via the left handlebar-mounted joystick without having to consult the owner's manual. There's a notably strange lag from the display, so much so that I could start the bike and have it idling before the TFT screen illuminated. Of course, Triumph has its own phone app. Most, if not all, motorcycle manufacturers do at this point. The Triumph app will record your trips and provide basic information about your bike. Navigation is an option, but I don't suggest using it until Triumph gets it fixed. If I hadn't known where I was going, I never would have arrived at my destination using the app's navigation. Why motorcycle manufacturers insist on having a proprietary navigation app is beyond me. Please just use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. The crucial takeaway about the 2023 Triumph 1200 GT Explorer is that it's an improved Tiger. More power and less weight is never a losing combination. Its electronic attributes keep it relative in an ultra-competitive adventure bike segment. Because I can't justify paying for the blind spot radar, and considering the GT Pro has just about everything the GT Explorer has minus the rear radar, I'd opt to save the couple thousand greenbacks and go with the GT Pro. But that's just me.
If you'd like to see some more tour and travel motorcycle videos or motorcycle reviews, make sure to subscribe to our channel.